After starring in Blossom, Mayim Bialik left the spotlight to earn a PhD and began teaching at UCLA.
By 2009, she was earning just $4,300 per semester, a salary that barely covered her basic needs.
When her family's health insurance was terminated, she faced a crisis. Just days later, an opportunity arose for a minor role in The Big Bang Theory. She drove to the
audition in an old car with no AC, carrying the insurance cancellation notice in her glove box. After winning the part, her first major paycheck went directly to her children's medical care rather than luxury.
Mayim didn't seek a comeback for the fame. She did it solely because her children needed her. Comment below if you admire her dedication as a mother.
While many recognize William Hopper as the investigator Paul Drake from Perry Mason, few are aware of his extraordinary service during World War II. Serving with the Navy's underwater demolition teams, Hopper operated in the mined and perilous waters of Peleliu and Leyte under heavy enemy fire.
The intense pressure of combat was so severe that his brown hair reportedly turned gray overnight.
Having earned a Bronze Star for his bravery, he quietly returned to his acting career after the war, keeping his heroic past away from the Hollywood spotlight.
Like this if stories of real-life heroes inspire you.
In 1953, Burt Lancaster took a daring stand by refusing to give up creative control over the film From Here to Eternity. The studio's formidable boss, Harry Cohn, a man everyone in Hollywood feared, threatened him, saying, "I'll bury you." Lancaster, a former circus acrobat who had learned to face dangerous falls without fear, didn't even flinch.
He calmly replied, "Fire me. Find someone else who can carry this picture."
Cohn was left fuming for 2 days, but the production eventually sided with the actor. The film went on to sweep 8 Oscars, and the industry changed forever that night.
Integrity gives you a
In 1945, Maureen O'Hara demanded producer Stanley Rubin fix a script line that weakened her character. He dismissed her with a laugh, saying her only job was to be beautiful, not to provide notes. O'Hara responded with a slap so powerful it sent script pages flying. Within hours, the studio labeled her difficult and offered her $8,000 to stay quiet. She refused the bribe and lost 3 months of work, instead spending her nights studying contracts to find legal loopholes and fight back. When a tabloid lied about her in 1957, she sued and won by proving her whereabouts with a boarding pass to Madrid.
As John Wayne once said, Maureen never backed down.
Her response to those who called her difficult?
"I wasn't difficult. I was right." Subscribe for more stories about legends who stood their ground.
While filming Raiders of the Lost Ark in 1980, a scripted scene nearly turned into a tragedy for Harrison Ford and Karen Allen. The production used real fire for the Nepal bar sequence, which unexpectedly spiraled out of control and exploded. With their faces blackened by soot, Ford grabbed Allen and urged her to escape through the suffocating smoke. Allen later recalled that the fear visible on screen wasn't acting, it was a raw instinct for survival. Ford quipped that while Indy famously fears snakes, Karen had a far more legitimate reason to fear fire after that day. Subscribe if you appreciate the grit of old-school filmmaking. Red Skelton stepped onto the set of The Tonight Show with a spark of joy that only a true legend could carry. He joked that his morning routine involved checking for funeral candles. If there weren't any, he knew he was still alive, making Johnny Carson roar with laughter.
When asked about his fitness, Red quipped, "I don't exercise.
I just flip through a Playboy to get my heart racing." The audience was in stitches. He also shared the story of how he plucked his middle name, Bernard, from a random newspaper, a name so convincing that J. Edgar Hoover eventually used it in official records.
Red Skelton represented a rare era of gentle, timeless comedy that never loses its charm.
Subscribe for more legendary Hollywood moments.